How we doing? I'm Trick or Trauma, and it's to be update number 3, which will be day 5 with COVID. Excuse me. Um, so, for the most part, the back pain is gone. The pain I was having in my lower back is not there today. That was new because I honestly, when I woke up this morning, I thought that was going to be there before I got out of the bed. But once I got up and started moving around, I was like, oh, the back pain in there. And then the leg pain that I was talking about yesterday, where everything feels Charlie horse, is actually almost completely gone as well. I don't really have any joint pain, so to speak. I just kind of have this overall kind of, like not really motivated, kind of weak kind of feeling right now. But a lot of the, things, the scalp pain that I was having, that kind of stuff, is resolved. I did have the COVID settle into my chest yesterday. Last night I did decide to go ahead and start taking ivermectin. But I'm going to tell you guys this. Now, I am not crazy at all. I promise you, I am not crazy. I even looked this up on the internet last night just to be like, I don't want to tell these guys this if this is completely full of crap. And you guys can look this up on the internet. I promise you, this is 100% valid. So my grandmother, I always thought my grandmother was a tremendously just angry woman. But she would say things, and she rarely ever spoke. But when she would say things, because there was always this possibility she was just going to tear your tail up, everybody would stop and listen to what she had to say, right? And so she would talk about Germany a lot. Now, she was not she did not come directly from Germany, but she was the first generation after. Her parents had come directly from Germany. And matter of fact, they were German enough that there were a fair bit of them when they came to the United States. They decided to go and fall in with the Amish. Okay, and so not my grandmother, but some of her other relatives. And she actually had a cousin who was Amish. And if you know anything about the Amish, like the Amish perform their Sunday ceremonies in German and their songs in German, all that stuff. So my grandmother could speak fluent German. But where I'm going with this is, my grandmother told me one time, because I made some excuses. I didn't think my stomach was feeling good. Like it might have been time to eat or something. And I said, my stomach wasn't feeling good. And she said that if you aren't feeling good, you should eat onion soup. Like, that is the thing you should do. Okay? And I have, for most of my adult life, kind of went back to that each and every time I haven't felt good. A couple of years ago, I tried to make homemade beer. Disastrous. Like, I swear to God, if I handed you one of those beers, a full beer, it would kill you. Like, the food poison in that beer would completely kill you. And I ended up making onion soup, and helped me out tremendously to shorten the amount of sickness I had of it. Because Grandma would say that onions, in and among themselves, had a tremendous amount of antibiotics in them, and that they were very good for you. And so I had made, when I first felt like I was starting to get sick, I had made some French onion soup, and I had it in the refrigerator for the first 2 days. I ate it, and then I kind of kept it in the refrigerator, and I didn't really do a whole lot of eating on it. And yesterday, when I felt that stuff started settling into my chest, I decided I was going to eat some. And no kidding, like, I ate some, and within a couple of hours, I could get to the point where I could take a full deep breath and not cough. Now, is what it is. Maybe I'm just wishful thinking, whatever. But I ate a tremendous amount of onion soup last night, and then I've already eaten some today, and plan on hopefully finishing it up today. But the day for me has been primarily sweating which I always, every cold I go through, I get to this point where I start sweating like crazy, which I've been sweating on and off, but I mean, I just full-time sweating. I feel like the cold is in my chest. I used to, when I was younger, just go smoke menthol cigarettes and help break it up and hack it out, but I don't do that anymore. And get to the point where within a day or two, I knew I was going to feel better. And so I'm at that point now. Like reasonably, unless something kind of occurs between now and the weekend, I would look at, like Saturday or Sunday and say like, hey, I should probably be, for the most part, done with this by then, if I stay on track with where I have with other sicknesses. Now, you guys have told me in your comments that a lot of people have had this, last for far longer than the common cold, but is what it is. The onion soup thing for me, like I said, I go to it every time I get sick. And again, if you'll look it up, I'm not joshing you, if you'll look it up, you'll see, I forget the name of it, what the antibiotic is, it's so high in, but if you'll look it up, there's an antibiotic contained in onions that just does miraculous things inside the body. And and then last night I did decide to go ahead and take a first dose of ivermectin. And then this morning when I got up, I actually was feeling fairly decent. And I took a second dose of ivermectin this morning. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at today. Again, you guys might think I'm full of hooey or hokey or whatever about the whole onion soup thing, but I'm telling you, it has worked for me every time I've ever gotten sick. And I made it because I knew I was getting sick. And then when I started really feeling the stuff come on, I kind of abandoned it. And then yesterday, because it got in my chest, I decided to go back to it, and have felt a world better since I started, eating that soup again. Thing is, you smell like onions. You sweat and you smell like onions, but hey, whatever. And beyond that, yeah, I actually got out today and went around the yard and did some pest control stuff in the yard, sprayed some fire ant mounds and stuff. I'm getting like crazy about sitting in the house, and so this is driving me nuts, but it is what it is. Anyways, that's kind of where we're sitting. Still no fever. Blood pressure did come down a little bit today. It's like 110 over 70. So, and pulse rate is still right up there around 88, 90. So, pulse ox is still good. So, kind of hoping that we get the hell of that squared away. And like you can see, I've been doing this coughing, but I was this morning I took a Mucinex and it's worn off now. But with the Mucinex in me and some French onion soup in me, and having taken that ivermectin this morning, I was walking around like a boss. I mean, I did not feel in any way, shape, or form like I was sick, other than just the constant sweating. So it's kind of where we're sitting at. Anyways, I appreciate all you guys' well wishings and your notes and all that stuff. But anyways, I'm Trick or Trauma. You guys have a good day.